Okay. Hey guys, how's it going? It's me, Yoko from Japan. Welcome back to my channel. I'm live from Fukuoka Prefecture, Japan. How are you guys doing? Falling asleep, maybe? Ahoy, beautiful people. How are you guys? So tired. I bet. Sorry, I am so late. Me, myself, I was gonna have this live stream earlier in the day, but I woke up in the morning, right? And then I was actually, since yesterday, I've been working on an article. It's about, of course, about the US presidential election. And I'm writing about Nikki Haley again. And I just collected all the information and so on yesterday. And then I had my husband read it. And I didn't even put a narrative to it. And I didn't like the article itself. And then I showed it to my husband, and he's like, yeah, this is boring. So then, and this morning, my husband was, seeing what to add and so on. He's very cooperative. And so I had to check all the information and so on. And so I was working on it. Man, the internet. I want a strong Wi-Fi router so that my camera becomes steady. But Yoko looks amazing and elegant as always. Thank you. Thank you. I try. I put too much makeup though today around my eyes. And when I was looking to the mirror, like looking at myself in the mirror, I looked like it doesn't show as much as it is in real life. In real life, I look like one of those synchronized swimmers, those women that swim. I wait so long in silence, and then all of a sudden I hear Yoko voices. I was so hallucinating. Maybe I died. Yeah, maybe this is heaven. Exactly like the real world. But you're gone. Hello, Yoko-san. Hello, how are you? Sorry, my throat is so dry today. Hey, Yoko. Hey, thanks for coming. The NHK should hire Yoko as a political analyst on US politics. That'd be cool. But they actually do a good job, though, NHK, because they have lots of funding, NHK, it's a national, it's not the direct translation to NHK. But yeah, they call them, NHK call themselves like public broadcasting service or something like that. So it's a public thing. It's not a national thing, but public. So we have to pay the fees to watch it. And even if you don't watch it, they will come knock on your door once you move to somewhere. So that's what they do. And that's why there are, conservative people that are against that system. But anyway, but because of that, they have lots of income as a TV station. With that, they create amazing documentaries, and they have lots of different teams, whether it's on animals or politics or some historical things. Like they have lots of various kinds of teams that are sent in the world, and of course to America too. NHK can dispatch their people, and they the people that are working for NHK are actually very I think they are very smart, high level people. So I actually follow one of them on Twitter/X because I saw this woman. I think her name was Mayuko. I could be wrong. But she interviewed Jason Miller when he came here for CPAC Japan. And I didn't get to see her, but I saw her coverage and I'm like, wow, like I talked to the same guy and I couldn't, withdraw all the information and so on. Like I'm not that talented at journalism, but she's a professional. So I'm like following her and so on. So yeah, it's cool. I really want to be better at, conveying stories, but yeah, But the thing is, I'm a blunt person. Like, I don't care about narrative and so on. I just want to know the facts, And so maybe I'm not, good at it. But anyway, evening peeps, evening. How are you? How are you? NHK is like BBC. Oh, true. They harass people to pay. Wait, do people have to pay for BBC? I didn't know that. They harass people to pay a fee with annoying inspectors who want to enter your home. Yeah. It's so scary, like when you live by yourself. Like when I went to a university in Osaka Prefecture. So it was my first time ever at the age of 18 to live by myself. And I was there, and then knock, knock, NHK, give me your money, right? And then the next day, knock, knock, this is Asahi Shimbun. Do you want to read our newspaper? And I'm like, no. So that's scary. Good morning, Yuka. It's great to see you again. Thanks for coming. Good morning. My throat is somehow weird. But what did I title? I put the title to Beijing Biden. I saw that Beijing Biden in the comment section of this Fox News video that I was watching earlier. And it was about something about cyber situation with China. The U.S. actually doesn't have as many people for cyberspace compared to China. Like it's like 150 level. So yeah, it's terrible. But yeah, and then because at the border, you know better than me that there are lots of people flooding into the US, and there are lots of Chinese migrants as well mingled in that mass. And so they were pointing that out together with the cyberspace situation. So, and then Biden is just letting it happen, right? So I was just looking at that, and the Beijing Biden was interesting to see in the comment section. I also saw genocide Biden too. It was just mentioned, I think, during a video, like their coverage talking about Israel. Because like the younger generation is using that label, genocide Biden, to criticize him for, I guess, about killing the people in Gaza and so on. But yeah. Hola, Yoko. Hola. No hablo español. I'd love to though. But I didn't really prepare anything for the stream. Do you have any questions or anything you want to know about Japan? I have newspapers, but these are old, from Monday and Wednesday. But this is good though. This is about China, and it's from January 29th. Just randomly on the table. But it's talking about Chinese ships surrounding Taiwan in four corners, and you can see the map, right? Like you see the red dots. Those are Chinese ships around Taiwan, and it's on the front page of our newspaper. So it's a big deal for us, And on Twitter, by the way, I get there was one day that I posted something about Miss Japan, and people began talking about immigrant issues regarding Japan and blah blah blah. And I'm like, when does this end? And it's great. I think that people are concerned about immigration, to Japan. However, our problem right now, of course, you should be stay alert on everything, that's the ideal. But what we are working on right now is actually, like, we have a good legal system. And in addition to that, we are threatened by China. Every day we are talking about this, and also this is talking about the missile. So it's a missile system, but I guess it's talking about where to deploy the bases, and they're talking about how where to put the missile stations to attack ships, and they have the map where to put it and so on. So they're like revising the system right now, like, oh, these troops come here and there, and then they're forming it differently now or something. I didn't fully read it, to be honest with you. But yeah, so we are working on things like this. So when you talk about your problem and project that to us, it's just weird, Of course, I'm not saying that it shouldn't be a problem. Like it is a problem that we should always be, worried about. But you know what I mean. I heard that there was an increase of foreign workers, immigrants in Japan. How do you feel about that? It's I think that when it's all, in my opinion, it's all like economical issue. The politicians here talk about workers from foreign countries when the economy is bad, because we need to boost our economy and we don't have enough workers now, especially like together with the problem of birth rate decline. We need more workers, and so the government thinks of a easy way out, which is to rely on foreign workers. But if you think about it in a reversed way, if our economy is better, then we don't need foreign workers. So what we need to, whether it's about birth rate or economy or the foreign worker situation, it's all about the need of boosting our economy. And the thing about Japan is that I know that Americans, for example, conservatives are very, very sensitive to tax money. But over here in Japan, we are not like that. There are conservatives, the majority of conservatives want big government, want a big government. It's just how it is. It's like our society, especially after the World War II, is influenced by socialism, because right before the World War II, there was already socialism influence, and people on the right side, they were nationalistic, but at the same time, they were socialistic, if you know what I mean. And at the same time, we have an emperor, and we see Japan as a whole big family. So everyone is supposed to be equal. So like it kind of matches, to our culture. So conservative people, and also we have lots of earthquakes and other natural disasters. And when that happens, the arguments that happen here, people here start saying like, oh, the government has to do something about it. Send them money, send them aids, like do this and do that. And it's supposed to be, in a political standard, is that the local authorities are in charge of that situation. It's when one area is affected, it's supposed to be the local authorities that have to take care of it. But we rely on government, and that's the way that we think. So yeah, and and I don't know why I derailed to this, but something like that. It's we just, oh yeah, now I remember that conservatives don't think, because our country is like that, our society is like that, even conservative people don't really think about economy. We know that we need to fix our economy. Like everybody is suffering, and like it's not like other countries. Like our inflation is really, really bad, because at least your salary is getting higher, right? Like your income is better than before, but ours, it's only the prices that are rising. And of course, those who serve for our country, like officials and so on, they don't have an issue. But us, like those who are just employed, by private companies and so on, we are really, really struggling right now. So but conservative people, at least, we are very strict when it comes to immigrant policies. Like we always said no to, when there was a sketchy move in the political field. And what's funny is that what the government officially is pushing is foreign workers, but they made this program for the foreign workers, especially I guess from other Asian countries, to learn the skills in Japan, and then if they like it, then they can stay here and so on. But in order to get into the program, it's tough. And even if you make it, like it's so hard living here because of the culture and so on. So like there are less applicants, like those who apply for the thing. The program is less than what we expected. That's what it said the last time I checked. But and another problem of immigration, I think, is the those who come here by sightseeing visa, just regular visa, to travel, and then just stay here illegally. So that's something that our police or whoever is in charge have to, do their job better at. And it's not like we don't have a system. We have a system. It's just that it's a matter of how you deliver that system. So yeah, I think that if there if there are problems regarding like illegal immigration and so on here, then we need to pay attention to that, I think. Yeah. But what's interesting though is that I don't think the Western people can bear here. If immigrants flooding here, then that's gonna be other Asians. Middle Eastern and Africans, maybe Africans can know, but they're not as, like, I don't mean it in a discriminative way, but I don't think that they are as educated. Maybe I'm biased, I don't know. Like, I don't know about Africa, but like our society is so hard to live in. I'm actually kind of excluded. Like I can't live in our system because I'm me. I'm so Americanized and so on. And like I state my opinions and so on. And every time I had to quit because like I've been employed many, many times, as a part-time job basically though. But still I had to quit because of the culture. And also I got sick every time. Like my health condition declined and I couldn't work. And it happened every freaking time. My body is saying no. And then sometimes I would write a list of the things that they should change, and then bam, like in your face, and then leave. That's what I do. Yeah. Is it true that Japan sells abandoned houses for like $1 to get people in abandoned houses? Yeah, it's a problem now because of the decline of population. There are lots of houses in the countryside, especially that don't have the owners anymore, and they're just left out there, and it becomes a problem in many ways, right? And one of the problems is, of course, the security of the area. But the young people tend to want to move into the cities. So, yeah. But at least right now, there are lots of interesting ideas, though, using that sort of houses and so on. Like the young people move in and start a new service or renovate the house to look cool and so on. Like it's interesting. Like our people are interesting. They think of new ideas, to because now there's something that I always kind of cringe to about SDGs. That Western conservatives and right wings are against SDGs. But to me, the way I look at it is always the money game. There are those who are pushing it probably benefits better with that standards, and they want to, exclude their competitors. I mean, like like oil or whatever. I guess big money, power company. I mean, energy companies and so on. I don't know, but that's just the impression that I get. And when it comes to Japan, though, look at our like Toyota and other motor automobile companies and so on. We invent. We can go with that. Oh, you're gonna change the rules. We can do it, and that's what we do. And it's a good thing, I guess. That boosting technology is always a good thing. So, and also it actually matches us because our cultural and religious beliefs are that we have to co-live with the nature. It's our tradition, that's our Shinto. That like every single thing, like just like I repeat myself every time I say this, but even this paper has a spirit in it. It's a living thing. This water and the bottle, like we gotta cherish it, right? And then water and food and so on. Like there's mottainai. Have you heard of it, mottainai? Some at some gathering, like world level. It was. I guess it was awarded or something. Our concept, like cultural concept of mottainai, is like you can't. It's a precious things, and we don't want to waste it. So like we try to make best of it. So basically SDGs, but we were doing it earlier, like doing it first. So that's why Japanese people like it. Like, oh, there's a trend now, new trend now. Okay, cool. We are in. Oh yeah. I'm not gonna talk about her. I'm not gonna risk things talking about her. Yeah, there's inside Japanese conservative circle, there are things that you don't want to know. Like we are divided, in our community, and I don't think that people look at her as conservative anymore. But she did a great job with covering. I don't know if it's a great job because people were criticizing her too. Because there, in Japanese conservative community, there are those who side with Trump. About the election was stolen, and it's the war against deep states and blah blah blah, like against globalism and blah blah blah, right? Like what MAGA people are saying. Like there are people here that that stand with that thought, and on the other hand, there are other conservative people here that are looking at it critically. Like we understand where they're coming from, but the election did happen, and Biden is the president, and those who were spreading all this MAGA-based things were just creating chaos in our community and so on. So, like, because information-wise, this MAGA-based people here, right, were posting stuff saying that these are the facts, but often they weren't accurate. So things like that kept happening and so on. So she was already known in our community through channel Sakura, and after that, the U.S. election, she flew there and covered it, and I guess people liked it, but there are consequences to it too. So, but I'm not her, so you should talk to her. But there are conservative people here that speak English, just that they don't talk to people overseas like this. It's just how it is. Because have you heard of Yoshiko Sakurai? She's much older. How old is she? She's 70 something. But she's like a Junimpiro type, I would say, but more class, like elegant way. Like, I'm not saying Junimpiro isn't that, but like Junimpiro is like raw, right? But Yoshiko Sakurai is just, of course, more Japanesey. But she's 78 right now, born in 1945. She was born in Vietnam, Hanoi, and she went to a university in Hawaii. So she speaks English very natural, I heard. Like, I've never heard her speak English, but I hear from native speakers that have spoken with her that she speaks fluent English. But anyway, Yoshiko Sakurai, when me and my husband and this Mongolian delegation, we went to her office once last year to make a presentation about what's happening to Mongolian people. And then I was supposed to be the translator there, because that's what I do to National Diet members too. Like, I'm the translator when our foreign friends have to say something to our National Diet members. And when we went to Yoshiko Sakurai's place, Yoshiko Sakurai told me that, we actually don't need translation. Everybody understands English, right? Yeah, go on. So I'm like, I'm useless. So that's what happened. So yeah. I guess the Japanese people just want to do business here, like, I am more of like activist minded person, so that's why I do this, because we know about America one-sidedly, like majority. Like, what I know is something that other people here know as well. We have lots of information about America, especially like we know about other countries very well, I guess. Like, I bet that better than other countries know each other. Nani? And so yeah, but and they don't feel the need that we need to say things to the world, What was there are many Chinese in other countries who warming in the U.S. border. There was one illegal, I'm assuming from the Middle East, threatening, saying, "Soon you know my name." Very scared. It's so weird that, like, you can't tell the level of the people, because some people can be crazy, I'm not trying to be discriminative, but some people are just crazy wherever they are from. And it's meaning that it's not that just because they say it doesn't mean it's realistic. It's just what they wish to do and so on. Similar things happened here recently. I think I didn't look into it, but there was some kind of Muslim person here that made a speech saying that Japan will be changed, that Japan will be an Islamic nation or something like that. Like, yeah. So it's crazy. So I don't know how to react to things like that. Is that expo canceled or delayed? I know Takaichi was pushing for it. Yeah, she was pushing for the delay because we need to help the affected area of the earthquake in Ishikawa and around there. So yeah, but we won't do the expo though because it does boost our economy, and also it's just Japan is a unique country. This is something that I shared on X as well. I try to explain it as as much as possible in my power, but Japan is not driven by voices. Like it is kind of, but not in the way of protests like America. For example, if you look at what's his name, Martin Luther King, I have a dream, and then his dream came true afterwards. But like the words, even Obama, like you may not like him, but Obama, his words echo, right? Trump too, he's fresh air, he's a fresh air in politics, but it's what he says that people share in their hearts with. But over here in Japan, it's the atmosphere that changed our society. And so when it comes to expo and so on, when we have an event, a good example would be the Olympics. We had the second Olympics, like Summer Olympics here in Tokyo, and it was delayed because of the COVID-19 thing. But still we had it. And until then, the leftists, they want to stop everything that's good for Japan. They hate our country. Leftists here hate our country. They want to change our country, suppress it and then eventually change it. That's their mindset. So they don't want good things for us. And the leftists were campaigning so much to be against the Olympics here. And they were good at creating the atmosphere that maybe we shouldn't do it and so on because it's so much cost and so on, right? But because we have to build stuff like villages for the players and so on, of athletes. So yeah, they were against it, and then there was this negative atmosphere in our society. But then once the Olympics began, we were like, yeah, right? Just how it is. And then there was this vibrancy in the society, and we were happy, during that time. And so Expo too, like it's criticized now because there are lots of people that just want to complain, like claimers, they just want to complain and complain because they are miserable. They're living a miserable life and they want to just drag everyone else together with them. That's just what happens. And but yeah, so I don't think that we would want to cancel it. Aren't most of the immigrants from countries like China, Vietnam, and the Philippines? Over here in Japan, yeah, China and Vietnamese are the most. Yeah, definitely. I've seen the statistics before, but it's more from Vietnam, I think, now. So crazy. It's so weird. looking at the size of the country, you know. Yeah. But what I'm afraid right now is that, as I said, the inflation is bad here, and you know, Japan is remaining Japan. But what's happening is that because of our economic situation, you know, and yen is weak, so now it's good that tourists come and buy our stuff, but at the same time we feel like maybe this is our future, you know. Economy, like our yen is weak and foreigners just buying up all the Japanese stuff, like a cheap country, you know. It's good quality but cheap country is something that we are right now. And some of us feel threatened because, oh, maybe like if the policies here don't work, then this is the world, I mean, this is a country that we have to live in. So that's something that I really want to avoid. But at least there are like-minded people like myself here. So I know that like, I mean, Japanese people are proud. Sometimes foreigners, like, you know, Westerners especially, don't understand it. Just like I said, our country or society moves with atmosphere. And what that means, in another, if I may put it in another way, what that means is that we don't speak. So when looking into Japan from outside, you may think like, oh, Japanese people are not voicing their opinions regarding this, so this must mean that they're not thinking about the problems. But we are. We're just silent. We're so quiet. So like I wrote about this on X as well, but when Japanese people have meetings, it's only meetings here most of the time are just ceremonial, and it doesn't the meeting is not meeting. The meeting happens behind the scenes, before the meetings and after the meetings, and we talk to individuals separately, and then somebody becomes the person to, you know, go around and check everybody's opinion. If are you good, are you good, are you good, and then you know, collect everything and make it work. So that's the groundwork is our culture. So yeah, anyway. Oh, super chat, thank you so much for super chat. Was the Muslim who made that claim a foreigner or Japanese? Either way, it was some Muslim, like some foreigner. I guess it was some kind of association. I don't know. There aren't many Muslim in Japan when compared to the rest of the population. Yeah, exactly. And there are some towns though that there are lots of Muslims here, because we have their, what we call, I forget what it's called. It's been a while. Mosque. Yeah, they're a religious place. There's one in Fukuoka as well. I've been there. Like I have lots of Muslim friends because it's common in Asia, you know. Indonesia, for example, is the biggest Muslim nation, right? Is it Muslim or Muslim? I always get confused. But yeah, Asians, man. And then our Uyghur friends, like East Turkestan friends, they are also Muslims. So, and that's why I don't have any like allergic reaction to Islam. And then and there was some kind of event at their facility. So me and my husband went there, and then and then instantly I'm like, this is the world that they live in. And we were divided into male and female. And I'm like, oh, my husband, you know, he's sitting so far away. And there was a kind of a wall too. So I'm like, no. So But at the same time, though, the foods were amazing and the clothes was beautiful. But man, I don't think the Japanese people would never be that because we like mingling. Everybody all the same family. So yeah. But the thing is, I have to say though that foreign people have especially like Western conservatives and right wings tend to misunderstand Japan, and that is the frustrating part for me. Is that they always say Japan is a homogeneous country, which is true. The majority of us are Japanese, right? But wait, where was I going with that? Oh yeah, but it doesn't mean that we want to exclude things. Like we are interested in foreign things. We love foreign things and foreign culture, foreign foods, clothes, whatever it is, and even foreign beliefs. And we just take in all the good parts. Like I know that you guys do that too, like on a certain level too. But Japanese people, especially because we are an island nation surrounded by the oceans, we are, even though we are right next to China and Korea, we do feel kind of isolated, right? Like, oh, around us only the oceans. So yeah, that's why we have all this like we romanticize the world, oh, what's out there? Oh, we heard that there's something over there. What is that? So we have all this enthusiasm, right? So and then when we find something cool, we try to localize it and we take that in. So even foreigners too, when foreigners are like from the bottom of their heart, very Japanesey, then we're gonna accept them as Japanese. It's just how it is. And if you look into the conservative or right-wing community here, sometimes it doesn't happen as often now anymore, but when leftists talk about things like on the level of for you guys, for example, like you have leftists in your country, like Hollywood celebrities, for example, that are against Trump, and if Trump is re-elected again, then they're gonna go to some other country, they're gonna flee, and you have that sort of people, right? And we have that sort of people here too, like those who don't share the cultural values with us, and those who hate our leader and so on. And when we see them, we look at them and say they're not Japanese. So it's not about being foreigners, being Japan. It's that it's about the mentality and where your spirituality is, if you know what I mean. So it's used like, oh, foreigners, go back to your country kind of thing. It happens to foreigners, but it happens to Japanese people as well. Like, oh, they're not Japanese, So it's hard to explain though, because you have to experience it. And there are like foreigners here that are totally like us too. Even foreigners, like they're American. Our level of celebrity, it's not like a celebrity, but like famous Americans, American comedians or commentators and so on that are here, and they speak fluent Japanese. Not necessarily perfect, we can still hear the accent and so on too. But for example, Park-kun, what's his name? Patrick something. He's a comedian who graduated from Harvard University. He's very smart, but he's a liberal though. But he has a lot of media exposure, and everybody here knows him. And when I look at him, even though he's American, but at the same time he's so Japanese. So And there's no like, oh, foreigner, even though he is using his foreigner presence, appearance and so on. But yeah, people just get accepted. Culturally, many Africans embrace education as a path to prosperity. Parents need to pay for school. They emphasize exams like Asian cultures do, but also teach English at high school and university. Oh yeah, I've actually met a African politician at the Tibetan gathering in India in 2019. He was speaking English, very sophisticated too. But I don't know. And there was somebody else too that wanted the cooperation when it comes to finance, which we wish we would have to ourselves. But yeah, it's education thing is so different in each country. In Japan, our parents' generation, I don't think that many got to go to university. Both of my parents somehow went to good universities, but it's rare. My mom, for example, she has siblings, and she's the only one female in the children, that got to go to university. So her sister is not. She's still dragging that. Like they are like very old now, like 70 or 80, and they still talk about it. Oh, you got to go to university. I didn't. So that you are lucky, and I'm not, or something like that. So yeah, but everything changed so much. I feel over the last like half a century. Does Japan have electronic cars gaining popularity as in the US? It's not for ordinary use, but companies are trying. Like, oh, we are working on the future, But Japanese people are so smart. So we are like, how does that work? Like, we don't have stations for that. And what if it goes out, because gasoline, you can get it anywhere, but we have earthquakes and so on. So once the electricity is out, then you can't even run a car. And when it comes to energy, people on the right side are very critical of solar panels because it would work. For example, in the US, as I guess in some areas it would work because the weather is steady and good, like California or something. Like it rarely even rains, maybe, and they don't have typhoons or stuff like that too. But over here we have heavy rains and earthquake and everything that would destroy the solar panels. So once the solar panels are destroyed, then it becomes such a problem because you could get electrocuted, and also all the panel pieces are dangerous. And so we are not buying that thing, even though we are eco-friendly, like I said earlier in this stream. Even though we love the nature and we want to think about good energy, like clean energy and so on, doesn't match our country. Oh, matcha! 遅れちまったな。20分ぐらい経ってる。20分じゃない、10分か。いらっしゃいませ。多分。But 私の知ってる抹茶なのかわからない。I can't tell. Is that my friend matcha or? Can't tell. Okay, anyway. Where was I? Hey, by the way, super chat will be very much appreciated. I was thinking to myself today about, because I was working on an article, I was thinking like I should pay for the services, that can automatically, like if you put some kind of file onto the service, then it write out the transcript, like it makes all the, is it, how do you say that? Kakiokoshi. Transcription. They do that. Like there are lots of services now that do that. So that would be very helpful for me because I look at all this English interviews and I have to do it by myself and it takes time. So I'm like, oh, maybe I should just pay for that. And then also like the transcription can be translated automatically now if you pay. I mean, you can do it for free for a while, but then there's a limit for one day. So you can't do much. So yeah, if you give me super chat, I will do that sort of things, and then I could do more. But in the meantime, I'm just being random. Anyway, let's go see some stuff. Where was I? Since there are not many comments, I'm gonna read everything. I'm not supposed to though, because you should skip comments when you have a live stream so that you would get super chats. But I'm such a good person, I'm here to communicate with you. So I am Mexican, and I see that in my country we have had a problem for a year because many immigrants from Haiti arrived and are currently being supported by the Mexican government. Interesting. The immigrants are leaving many bottles full of urine. What? Pooping in the streets, not to mention that they do not work. That's awful. That's awful. But at the same time, I don't know, like in Mexico, I feel like you have lots of gangs. Do they only think about themselves, or like our gangs would threaten them, Hey, what are you doing in our territory, Just imagining, I don't know, that world, but I can see this every day. That's awful, man. Man, if that's the case, you have to be like Singapore. Singapore is so clean. Isn't it Singapore? That you have to, like, there's penalty if you make the country dirty, right? Like if you throw things away, then you get fined. So would you live in America? I would like to, for only like 3 months or something, I guess. Just to see, and just to polish my English and also build connections. But I don't think that I could live in America. I haven't visited though, like, and it's a wonderful country, and the culture. I love the culture there and the people there. Whether on the right or the left, But I'm too Japanese. I don't know, man. But if I live in the US for a while, then maybe I will get Americanized. The thing about me is that I love my country and where I am from so much that it pains me when I travel to another country now. Like when I'm on the plane, just leaving my country, like I'm becoming sad just by thinking about it. It's so like, oh, my heart, I don't know how people do that, seriously. I'm too attached to my country. But I would love to learn more about America and so on. Oh, super chat and no worse. That's so cool. That's like what a gentleman would do. Like, hey, here's some money, take it. And nothing, no words. Interesting. Thank you so much. It means a lot. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Wait. Let's see. Oh, it's 55 minutes already? Man, time flies recently. It's so scary. Actually, I feel like I just had the live stream, like this live stream, like yesterday, and I'm having this again. That's what it feels like. Is this what it feels like to age? There are many Africans coming from the Mexican border. Do not take the Africans too lightly. If they are able to cross many borders, I'm sure they are able to cross to Japan. Yeah, I mean there are some African people too. In when I visited Tokyo, there were some Africans, and they were. I guess I've shared this before, but there were like 2 or 3 African-looking guys. I don't know to be sure, but yeah, and they were just there standing, and what I associate. Maybe that's racist of me, but I associate it because it was late at night, and they were standing and then casually just hanging and but not talking to each other. And I'm like, is this about drug? you know, that was my first impression, and it's bad because it's a racist way to think, I guess. But that's but I had that association, I guess, because it's just how it is, lots of like I hear that they sell bad stuff. I don't know though. And I don't like generalizing, so I'm not gonna generalize, but yeah. I just don't see African people here though, like in my prefecture. I see like Muslim people from Asia or some Brazilian, depending on the where you go in our prefecture, because there are factories, and Westerners teaching English and so on. But yeah, but I guess that Tokyo and Osaka, I bet there are lots of different types of people, lots of immigrants. So yeah, I really hope that our government becomes more like our government would tighten the system when we have visitors from overseas, because when I went to India in 2019, I had to give all my fingerprints onto the machine, and I'm pretty sure that they have random Yoko's what's the fingerprints photos. So yeah, I don't know if our country is doing that. And like the problem is that, as I said, it's a visa thing that they can legally come here and then go illegally. But at the same time, though, when it comes to Japan, like living in Japan, foreigners living in Japan, even just to get a place to live, it's hard. Like you have to have a proper job and proper like a card that assures you that you are like it guarantees that you are a valid visitor here, that are here temporarily and so on. Like they have this, like if you're a foreigner living here, like I've seen my friends' cards before, they have this card, so you need all this kind of certificate to get a place to live in. And so if you come here by like tourist visa and then stays here and try to get a job and so on, unless the company that you work for do things, to make the magic happen, I don't think that you would work, and you wouldn't have all the certificate to, be able to live, just to get a place to live. And so other hospitals and so on would be hard too. Other agents in Japan is a bad idea. They have an axe to grind with Japan and are less likely to assimilate. Look no further than the Korea school in Japan, 3 to 4 generations in Japan, and hate it. Yeah. I feel bad for Koreans here though. Like I bet that they would have been happier in their country, because of because of the attitude of Japanese people, The Japan Japanese people are thought to be nice, but we are humans and we are actually very hostile inside. We just don't show it, like I said. It's often said, that foreigners, when they come to Japan and talk to Japanese people, they say, like, it's often say it's a prejudice that we don't have any facial expression, you know and we are like, and when we speak, we are like monotone as well, like, yeah, we don't exaggerate and so on. We're just straight face always, and then like very robotic. And I myself, I was making funny faces when I was a little kid too, but so it's in my personality too, but I had to learn how to use my facial muscles and also my like gestures and also the tone that I speak. I learned everything from Americans. And so I'm not a typical Japanese person. So that's why probably that you feel close to me, I guess, because I'm in your culture in this way. But ordinary Japanese people are not like this, and we don't show our emotions. But when it comes to things that are different from us, like I said, like we are one big family, and when somebody stands out, we don't like it. Like who does she think she is, or something like that. Like the nail and gets hammered down. Is that the expression? So yeah. So Koreans, I bet they have a hard time, especially because right now, this moment, the President Yoon is doing a great job trying to make our countries, bring our countries together. So it's working. So it's good, but we have a long history with Korea, and so I bet that they have lots of problems. Oh, super chat. I have a pen. Thank you so much. Do you have a pen? I have over there. I want to do that. This is a pen thing. I have a Trump pen actually, which was sent to me in 2016. My viewer from America at the time, he sent me a bunch of Trump goods, and then I got a Trump pen. It's a Trump head and it's a pen. And then if I press a button, then Trump starts speaking. I think there were like 8 phrases too. But yeah, thank you for your super chat. You know what we learn in Japan when we study English in class? The very first thing that we learn, the very first thing is probably like, oh, my name is blah blah blah, or I am blah blah blah. But usually, when it comes to if you are to learn a sentence, we learn this is a pen. We learn that sentence. This is a pen. And there's always a question. When do we get to say it in real life? This is a pen. And sometimes on X, people share the photos of their pen saying like, oh, finally, I can say this. This is a pen. And there's some crazy thing, that's a pen. So yeah, silly, but sorry. What most type of foreigners do you see in Japan? That's a good question, because Asians, like, I can't tell if they are foreigners or not. East Asians, like Koreans and Chinese, I can't, if they are living here, they have the same fashion. So I can't really tell. So maybe Chinese and Koreans. I don't know. Most type of foreigners. Or are you referring to the race or type of people? Or you did that wrong. My real question is how the American airstrikes are being reported in Japan. Just as it is that America is gonna revenge. どうやって報道されてる？アメリカのエアストライク空襲がどういうふうに日本で報道されているか。In Israel or Syria? Which one? It doesn't say. それには何も聞いてみよう。In the meantime, let's see. Hello, Yoko. I got approved for 2 weeks in Japan. Cool. I can't wait to see you when I visit Fukuoka. Nice. For 2 weeks. Oh, I see. So now, from work, I guess? Cool. So you're gonna be here for 2 weeks. Nice. It's good. I think it's gonna be warm too this year, so. How people get along across all culture as portrayed in Fast and Furious movies. That's cool, yeah. Being hostile to the unknown is okay. Being hostile to the unknown is okay. True. I saw a YouTube video where Korean people brought their cars over to Japan and went to a car meet and become friends with the Japanese there, and it was a good video. Cars being that's what this was referring to. I see. Yeah. When it comes to historical disputes and territorial disputes, of course, I'm gonna have to, stand for my country against South Korea and China. But still, though, like I have South Korean friends, and they're really, really nice to me and my husband. It's like. And when I communicate with like-minded people from other countries, including South Korea, like I don't feel the barrier, like it's a weird feeling. I feel that with Americans too, that when your heart, like when you communicate with your heart, like if the person you're talking to is open to you too, then you have this weird feeling. You get this weird feeling that even though this is a foreigner to me, like I don't feel that way. Like it's so weird. Like we are so we get connected, like literally. Like, and I have to remind myself, like, no, this person is not Japanese, I would give a super chat, but I'm saving up for Mazda. Some Miata Roadster, best Japanese car ever made. Cool. When I buy it, we'll give you a super chat. Thank you. I hope that you get to that purchase as quickly as possible for you and me. Justice here in Mexico does not work. Everyone does what they want. Now that the immigrants have arrived, the situation is worse. Sounds pretty chaotic. But for example, like in the Philippines, when Duterte became the prime minister, like the leader, like he had, like his country had lots of drug problems and some gang problem, and he just caught everyone, including sometimes there were error cases too, which is very unfortunate, but that just made things better for the country. And it was very, it was extreme, but he did it. So yeah, maybe you need a strong leader It was funny though. There were like to CPAC Japan. There was this time that Mexican people came to, and this representative or something, like when he was introduced, like he's a great player in politics, but I think I heard this introduction or description that who knows like what kind of power he has in like behind the scenes and so on. So anyway, who do you think is going to replace Kishida? After Kishida, I don't know. I think it would be maybe a female because we have a problem with factions right now. Because factions were giving money illegally to the people or something like that. But hopefully Takaichi, but could be Kamikawa, the foreign minister right now. Yes, from work. I'll start in Fukuoka. My and I will check out Hiroshima. Cool. And on our way to Tokyo, we will be making stops along the way, like Kyoto and Osaka. Wow, sounds great. That's like in one trip, you go to all these important places. Cool. That's a good idea because you can actually get around with the bullet train easily too. So that's good. Economic immigrants, asylum seekers, only an excuse to only cross the US. I know, right? I heard that on the news coverage too. That they say that like we when people are crossing the borders, we expect that they have some kind of political problems or something like that, and like seeking for asylum, but they're actually just looking for some like it's due to their economic situation. So that's so crazy. Oh, but anyway, it's been an hour, so I gotta go. Yeah, and yeah. Oh, by the way, I have live streams on my gaming channel too. I don't have a camera on, but I'm speaking. So you should subscribe to Random Yoko Vlog. It used to be a vlog channel, so that's why I named it Random Yoko Vlog, but it's a gaming channel, and you can look it up, or I think it's like it's connected to my profile, like this channel's profile. I don't know, but yeah, come hang with me there too. The Conservatives won last year's election in New Zealand. Let's take back our countries and learn Japanese. Shabu shabu is my favorite food. Oh, nice! I like that too. It's very healthy and yummy. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Anything else? My husband is just sitting there. Does Japan have a national debt? Yes, we do. But at least conservatives, look at that as the debt for the future. Like we pay that. So unless unless we are getting that from foreign countries. The left hates America too. Communists ruin everything. Yes, exactly. Oh yeah, Sweden. Okay. Okay. I think I read as much as I could. What beauty products does Japan have for men to keep their face young? I don't know, actually. Men, yeah, but young generation now they use like face like products for like they do use beauty products. one gamer that I know who used to be a professional COD mobile player. He puts on a full makeup. I mean, his race is Colombian, I think. So like he or half Colombian. But so I guess that makes sense. Like he looks different and he knows that he's good looking, so he puts on makeup to boost it. But even ordinary young people now take care of their skin, like young guys. I mean, it's interesting. But I don't know the brands and so on, but there are like brands for male, I think. So if you just go to some kind of drugstore, will be good enough, I think. I don't know about like beauty product companies like Shiseido or Kanebo or whatever. Like I don't know if they make products for all male. I've never even looked into it. Quick question: do you like Kanazawa or Takayama more? I've never been to those places, so I can't say. I wish I had, but yeah. Yeah, yeah, via Milea. I don't know him. Is that the crazy guy? Yeah, that is the crazy guy. Actually, he doesn't get much coverage here. Like, yeah, we don't. I guess it's too far from here, and we are not very close as countries, so we don't get to hear about him, unfortunately. Anyway, okay, it's 4 in the afternoon now here, and I bet that it's pretty late over where you are, and my husband is yawning like a dog. Always. Anyway, thank you so much, guys, for coming. I always appreciate every single one of you that come to my streams. It means a lot, and it's the questions that you ask me make me think, and it's really fun. And it's I think it's a good thing that we do this, every week. It's a good training for both of us. So yeah. Anyway, if you have extra like additional questions, I will answer next week. And let's see what's gonna happen next week. And yeah, we will have this gathering again. Okay. Thank you for your answer. Have a nice day. Thank you. Good talking to you again. Thank you. Me too. Thanks. Have a good day. Thank you so much. It's Random Yoko Vlog. I'll type it out. Yeah, it's a weird channel name, I know, but yeah. Greetings from Mexico. Thank you. All right, then. Konnichiwa. Konnichiwa. But I'm leaving now. I was just saying bye to the people. 今終わろうとしてました。Okay. Okay, have a good night, guys. And thank you. And if you're on the different areas, have a great day. Okay, thanks again. I'll talk to you soon. Okay, bye.